All right. What's going on, everybody? We're here for the May portfolio reviews. We haven't done one of these in like 2 months, I don't think. We've been busy doing stuff. Nathan, are you here? Cool. Right on. Everybody else is in here, it looks like. That's cool. If you're not in the Discord, please join up if you want. Um, if you're getting your portfolio review tonight, then you should already be in there in the portfolio reviews channel. Dude, I was like rushing. I had this crazy craving to have a milkshake, like a banana milkshake. So I like needed to make. So I just like did it like 2 minutes ago. And I was like, what? Yeah, I was pouring. I was pouring it in the cup. And I looked in my office, like I peeked around the corner, and there was 14 seconds left of that thing. So I made it just in time. Yeah. When you want a milkshake, you gotta have it. Yeah. All right, let's get this. How's everyone doing? Everyone's having a good weekend. All right. Yeah, it's pretty good. My milkshake's pretty good too. I do banana peanut butter. Oh, really? Yeah. You know, I don't know. I'm just on a milkshake kick lately. All right, Nathan, you're streaming. Let me get your stream up on my screen. That's how we do it. We're gonna switch this in the future. Nathan's gonna get hooked up with the Twitch so that he can just handle it. We'll have good quality. If you have a question while the stream is going on, just put it in the chat because we can like put it on the screen. You'll hear like a little ding like that, and it'll pop up on the side. Let's do a little example. I'm gonna switch over, Nathan. Hold on. Let's do the little switch over. See, there we go. Welcome everyone. There it is, right on the side. So if you have a question, do that. We'll put it up on the screen. I'll read it and interrupt Nathan, and then we'll answer the question and then move on. All right, take it away, Nathan.
Because we're adults and we have jobs and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to get together and give people some feedback. And of course, we had about probably over 20 submissions to the Google Sheet. And unfortunately, we do not have the time to go over all 20. But I will definitely promise you that for those of you who were not picked, a lot of information that will be shared today will definitely be beneficial towards your portfolio or your resume, whatever it may be, to help you with your job search. So, yeah, definitely. Even if you're not the one being reviewed right now, or like you guys wasn't picked, definitely still tune in and listen because there's a lot of valuable information that could be dropped today. All right, cool. So I guess the first person we will start with is, and I hope I'm saying this right, Nikhil. Are you here? I see you in the chat.
Hey, hey, how's
Hello.
everybody?
Hi. Did I say your name right?
Yeah, it's Nikhil.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Sweet. All right then, Nikhil. So let's see. First question I have for you is, what is it that you want to be, like in terms of like your profession? You want to be like a level systems? Like what exactly is it you're trying to shoot for?
Right. I'll give an initial intro first, so that we have a better idea. So I have been a game developer in the Unreal space for three and a half years,
Mm-hmm.
and I started as a developer, and now I'm trying to transition to a designer.
Mm-hmm.
So I've worked in a few game dev companies. I have even taught a few students as a visiting professor. I'm mostly self-learned, and yeah, now I'm trying to figure out my way into game design.
Mm. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I guess so. When you say that you want to be a game designer, are you particularly into like, well, I guess what kind of studios would you want to, are you looking to work at? Like, do you want to look at like big AAA companies or small indie? Like, what exactly are we shooting for?
So right now I'm shooting for a technical design role, which incorporates a little bit of development and design because I like making prototypes a lot. So I'm not shooting for like AAA titles as of now. But yeah,
Hmm.
and both of them are good and it
Hmm.
works. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Oh, hey Kevin, can you hold on a second? Hey, Kevin, you just popped in. Can you mute your mic for me, please? Okay, thank you. Okay, cool. So I heard, yeah. So I heard technical design, game design. All right, sweet. Well then, let us go through this. So the first thing that I noticed is you have an art station. Um,
Yeah.
how come you did an art station and not your own specific portfolio, like your own website?
Right. You're asking why I didn't go forward with making my own website, right?
Sorry, say that again.
I couldn't catch you. Did you ask why I did not make a website
Oh,
myself?
oh, yeah, yeah. I guess I was wondering, how come? I was just wondering why you use ArtStation instead of like
Right, right.
Wix or WordPress.
ArtStation is just a little easier and inexpensive to put the work out there.
Hmm.
Uh,
I see.
art, so yeah, I had to put in money to make a website, and it's easier to access.
I see.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at some of this stuff here. Yeah, I mean, I totally get that for ArtStation, but I would say since you're trying to go into more the design route,
Hmm.
it's usually better to kind of have your own website so you can kind of talk about your process and stuff.
Right.
'Cause I know ArtStation has this on the side, but this stuff really you're going to need a lot more to explain your design process in this. So I guess if I can offer an example, this is my portfolio here.
Okay.
Um, and if I go to one of my old school projects,
Hmm.
so this is what they kind of expect as a designer. So here's I have a gameplay video. I have like things that I did, responsibilities, and then here at the bottom I have like my entire process, like most of my process about what I've done. Because for you as a designer, they want to know more about like your design process and how you got from your paper prototyping to the actual finished prototype or game. And the thing about ArtStation, while it's really great for artists for design, I always kind of feel like websites are a bit better because you can go into a lot more detail rather than this because all the information that I have on my website here, I'm not going to be able to fit all of it here on the side. Um, now, I think so. In terms of inexpensive, there's Wix. Wix is very, very cheap. By cheap, I mean it's
For
free.
sure.
Yeah, so you can definitely
Yeah.
get a Wix site and just make a basic one and then start throwing things on there.
Yeah.
Another thing. Oh, who goes to
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. We have to get a story across to show the game design role, right? So having a
hmm
website would really help with that. Makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. And that way you can just like have a dedicated page to your thing.
Hey, if
Here,
just to interrupt real fast, Nathan, if for anyone like if
yes.
you if you have an art station and that's the only thing that you can get, because it's expensive to have a website and or you just really like art station, I think it's like yeah, it's like Nathan's saying, it's always better to have a website, of course. But if you for whatever reason need an art station, you have one and you want to keep using it,
Hmm.
one thing you could do is like because the main thing is that it's really hard to kind of put up any information about what your thought process is, what your design intentions were, and kind of like just more detail. And the website just isn't really set up to like kind of be read really easily, and it's just not the best presentation for work in terms of level design for what we need. But what you can do is you can Photoshop images, like an image where you put in text and use
Hmm.
Photoshop to explain and show your flow and show your process, right? And kind of like make a little image, and then you put that image on the website, right? Like on ArtStation. So when you
Hmm.
click on the project, that's just an image, and you've got text and you've got whatever other things you need on there. So that way you can still put your top downs and you can still put your design process and go through any of the details that you need, and it doesn't like come up on the side panel. That's really small and
Yeah.
just for text. So that's one trick if anyone out there has an art station and wants to keep using it.
No, that's actually really that makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah, I appreciate that because that yeah have because I definitely seen people do that too on ArtStation where they take screenshots of like their 80 level articles from 80 level website, and they just like post them in chunks. So no, that's a
Right.
really
Yeah.
good call out. Another thing here, Nahil, I see a lot of like environments here as well. Like this look like environment art. I would say if you are definitely if you're going for the design, having stuff like this can be a little bit misleading because it's like, okay, well, you're telling me you want to be a technical designer, but I'm seeing a lot of environments here. So what you can do in ArtStation also, if you want to stick with that, is have like another tab that kind of says like other projects, and you can like put them all in here, and then you can have a tab here that says like technical design portfolio, and then that goes into more that essentially has all of your actual tech design skills that you have. Because I do know artists who do that, where they have like a old work section and like a portfolio section where it's like the more
Mm.
updated stuff.
Okay.
And I guess one
Alright.
last piece of feedback I have is if you're going to do recordings of things for your portfolio, try not to have the editor up. Just try to have like just have the game itself. Because that way it just feels more professional and feels more real rather than just seeing the whole editor and everything like that.
Right. Makes sense.
We got a question here, Nathan.
Yes.
We got one. Put it up here. Blondie Wells asks, would you recommend Adobe Portfolio or Wix? Do you want to answer that first, Nathan? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I can answer for it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would just say whatever is free and this gets the point across. So I will always say like going for Wix is great because I know Wix is free and every student uses that. I know before a lot of times people say like, oh, you need to like buy a domain name, everything to make it feel more professional. But if you have good work, I don't think that's really going to matter. But yeah, I would always say whatever website is comfortable for you. I mean, even like with Ryan said with ArtStation, you can just you can just do Photoshop images of your process as well. But yeah, for a lot of students out there, I would say whatever is free and works for you. That's my advice.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It doesn't matter. Whatever you can work with, and just like Nathan said, just whatever gets the point across, and you can present your projects the way that you want to, then that's all that matters. And then Nathan, you mentioned on the portfolio here about the in editor stuff. Like that's totally right. I think that if you're going for a technical designer, you could take screenshots, having screenshots of like blueprints and stuff like that go into detail about what that show off what you were doing. That's totally fine, I think, for your role that you're kind of going for. But yeah, I think unless there's a reason why you would be showing the in-editor stuff, for something that you're showing off that you built or how you built it or whatever, then I would leave it off then. But
yeah, 100%. Besides that, I can't really think of anything else. I think some of the stuff I'm seeing here is actually really interesting and cool. It's just that because it's all mixed up with like architecture viz and environment art that I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure what really I need to look at, especially you tell me you're a game designer. So I think definitely being able to clean this up a bit would definitely help out more.
Mhm.
I guess, yeah, do you have any questions?
Yeah. I do have a few questions. So I wanted to know how is it really important for resumes to be ATS friendly, like 100% ATS friendly in the industry?
You said it didn't need to be print friendly? Is that what I heard? Did I
Yeah,
hear that correctly?
yeah.
Oh,
The automated platform that is for resume checking, right? ATS.
hmm Yeah, in terms of resumes, I think, yeah, definitely like because you want them, because in case someone happens to print it off to read it, then yeah, definitely have it be print friendly, but also just to make it easier for people to read. I always tell people your resume is not a poster, it is a document to display information. So you want to make sure that information is easy to read and easy to understand. So I guess it's to showcase off mine really quickly.
Nathan, just a light warning that it's we should probably move on in a minute
Yeah.
or two. Yeah.
I know, yeah. Once I got done with this, I was gonna move on to
Sorry,
Nathan.
I got to put on
But
like
yeah,
the producer hat, every once in a while, and just like pop in and
not the producer hat. Let me make more levels, Ryan. I don't care if the deadline's tomorrow. But yeah, you can see here with my I have my I have color with mine, but if this was to be printed, this will probably come out black, and you can still read all this. I've seen people try to
Right.
do like a light green black background or that, and like, oh, it looks really pretty, but it can be really hard to read. So I always say like going for something simple with a little color is going to be a lot more beneficial for you than trying to make it look like a crazy poster.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, sweet.
Other than the website, is there anything else that you would recommend generally?
Besides website, I mean, overall, yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing was for me is this just I think biggest thing, like I said too, is just showing off your process, like how you got from start to finish. I think that's really the biggest thing I need to see.
Awesome. Okay.
Yep. All
Thanks a
right,
lot.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank
And hey,
you.
for everybody too, this isn't just like post up your portfolio in the Discord, in our portfolio review channel or our forum. You can create a new forum post and add it in there, and you can get more information. And there's people in the Discord that will respond and comment and give you even more. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Please use the portfolio review. Yeah, forums. There are a lot of people in this Discord from all over the industry that are more than willing to give you feedback and help. Alrighty. So next one we have is Nathan Workman. Nathan, are you here?
Hello. Yes, I am here. Hello. Nice to meet
Hi,
everyone.
Nathan. Hi, Nathan. I'm Nathan.
I know it was a little confusing at first.
Nah, it's all right. It's all right. So, yeah, Nate, I see you want to be a game designer. So, when you say game design, are we talking like technical systems, UI, UX?
Yeah,
Like, what is that
mainly
for?
system design or technical design is kind of what I'm
Mhm.
eyeing to go into.
Okay, cool. What studios are you shooting for?
So, the biggest studio, I would prefer to work remote. So, the main studio I was trying to get with would be Bungie because they're full remote. And I've been looking at other places as well as Lost Boys because a Bungie employee actually recommended Lost Boys as well.
Oh, that's nice to know. Oh, I see you have the art station where it's kind of like a blog. That's smart. So I see you have a lot of your process here. I'm guessing this is gameplay footage of the game itself.
Yeah, so this game that I made on right here there's 3 versions of it, mainly because I started it in 2015 when I was starting to learn all of this. So I wanted to show my process of when I first started, how it looked, to when it finalized and it going on Steam.
Okay. This not being in the box kind of looks a little weird. Yeah, there's a lot to scroll through here for sure. So I think there's a way you can kind of condense some things a little bit that would help. I always kind of say too when it comes to videos, like having your gameplay video first is always more helpful, like in my personal opinion, because the reason why my portfolio I have here the gameplay video then this responsibilities is in case if a recruiter does not feel like scrolling down to see the rest of this, they at least know like this is the video they can watch and skip through, and then this is like what I exactly did on this project. That way they kind of then this is like the basic information that they need, and if they want to see more stuff, then they're like, okay, cool, I can look at this guy's breakdowns. Which is always helpful. One thing you can do as well, I'm not sure if you can do this on ArtStation, but you have it kind of like a slideshow, so that way we have a lot of these same images, you can kind of put them on a slideshow. That way you're not having to scroll through a bunch of pictures. I think that would kind of help. So like, because that's how I kind of do mine here. Like these are all just on the slideshow, so they kind of look like GIFs. I did a big thing as well because I see you have this thing in editor and it's like the camera, but I'm not sure what's really going on here. So this can be like a GIF showing like what exactly is happening. That will work. I know you have text down here, but sometimes people are not
Yeah, I
probably not
got you.
going to even
Yeah.
read the text. Yeah, so especially as a designer, like I think GIFs are really helpful for us because they can see the game being played or system being managed. Like for artists, they have a screenshot. It's like, okay, cool, it's really pretty. Like this as our art shot would be great because it's like, okay, it's pretty. But for a designer, I definitely want to see like how are things interacting and what's going on here. And I also feel like since you're talking more about systems, like show off more your systems rather than just having big screenshots of like the game itself. You can have those more to the end, but I want to see more about like your process and why are the systems so like you have this stuff here, which is cool, but definitely a lot more of the gameplay elements I want to kind of for you to talk about.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, let me just go to another project here. UX systems redesign. This is Hey Destiny. Okay. Okay, cool. Talking about the UI, the original concept of it. So I guess you're essentially redesigning.
Yeah, I
Doing a
just
reimagining
redesigned
of
the
UX.
Destiny UI. Is what that is.
Cool. Yeah, so I would say for stuff like this, because I've done something similar, is you can definitely like I would say even go into more detail, even talk about like give I guess a more clean version of like how you would actually look, how it will look fully redesigned, I believe, or how it will work. And also talk about like, hey, this is why I think this thing in Destiny 2, this is how I would kind of rework it to serve these specific goals that players are looking for. Because you could talk about like maybe what kind of frustrated you with the UI UX before, or how you believe like, hey, I think this would be a lot easier for players. So you can definitely go into more detail about that. I always think these are really good because to me it shows that you actually are not just playing the games, but you're really digesting them and try to dissect them and try to understand what makes them better. And I feel like a lot of people really love that because, it shows that you're going beyond and just playing Destiny and just playing it mindlessly.
Yeah, this is really cool. We don't usually get a lot of UI stuff on here.
Mm-hmm.
I would say for presentation wise, you could try to work the website. I don't know how what are you using, Wix? I don't know, or whatever it is. But if you do side by side stuff is nice too. So you can scale some of the images down and have before and after shots next to each other, or use GIFs so that there isn't a lot of like scrolling with these big images. And Nathan, I don't know if you said it. The chat's been popping off, so I was responding in there. But if you have access to some sort of like Photoshop or image editing software, definitely try to pretty up some of that stuff below. And just, I mean, it just any little bit like that can kind of help.
Yeah.
And it's not even just a matter of like it looking good. It's just because it's going to help. It's just it's going to be easier to read. It's going to.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree with all that for sure. I think he's using ArtStation, but he's using it to where you can do it like a blog, so
right.
This is always kind of helpful. Yeah. Cool.
We've got a.
I guess.
Well, we got an interesting comment here. I want to or a question.
Oh, okay.
Something.
Just shoot it at me.
Someone commented, when putting the video on top of my portfolio, I was told by a hiring manager that they will never click on a video until you've earned their buy-in. All people doing these recruitment jobs are different types, so I opted to put impactful GIFs up the top that sort of draw you down to the page, or at least attempted to do so. Yeah, that's baloney. I mean, just whatever.
Yeah, that
put a video. Don't put a video. It doesn't matter. No one's. There's not a checklist of. Now they've earned our buy-in, so now I'll watch that video they posted at the top of their page. Like, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't worry about that. I think having a video on top is great because it's for the people, like if you don't have a lot of time and not everybody likes to sit there and read and scroll, like I'm not like that, and you want to get an impression first before maybe you dive into the details, right? Like I'm like that. So I'd rather see a video first so that I can watch the first 30 seconds of it and feel impressed, and then say, okay, I want to know how they did this, right? And then I scroll down and I read everything. Because if you just have a bunch of text and images, which is fine too, but there's a little bit of the context missing, right? Like you have to kind of you have to figure out what's going on, But if you have a video and you just press play and then you see what the person's doing, then you're like, oh, okay, cool, I get it. I want to know more now. So yeah, that's a ridiculous thing, but yeah.
Yeah, one thing I would say too was like everybody's taste is different when it comes to portfolios. I always generally tell people like if you can get your portfolio to a point where people are being really nitpicky about it, where they have comments like that, where it's like, oh, well, put your videos last, whatever, then I think you're in a good spot because then this is people's personal preference. But yeah, it always seems like once you get to that nitpicky stuff, that is when you're definitely on the right page. So. But yeah, that is an interesting thing. I never heard someone say, well, you got to earn my buy-in. I didn't know that we were betting on stuff, but okay. Yeah, I guess I would say same here, like Nathan, is having more videos and GIFs. That way I can see the tools being worked upon rather than just straight up screenshots. But
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess besides that, do you have any other questions for me or Ryan?
No, I'm good. Thank you. You gave me some very good, helpful points, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. I am glad.
You know what we got to do
All right.
in the future, Nathan? Sorry to butt
What's
in.
up?
Like we do, these portfolio reviews are very much about everybody's website and the quality of like your site and how things are presented and kind of the whole like career side of things. I think it'd be cool if like we actually did like review people's work, like we actually played
That
or
would be
watched
nice,
the
yeah.
videos and just kind of like gave feedback like that. Maybe, that's a separate thing, but there are people who, when you think portfolio review, that's what it is, right? Like you're diving into the details of what they have on their portfolio and actually giving feedback for the projects. Whereas we've just always kind of, we talk more about the site and everything and hit it from that angle. Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking out loud on this.
No,
but,
that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that would definitely be cool. I know usually, I think that would be cool. I know that also could be a lot, but it would be cool if we could probably take one person's portfolio, just try to play a project or two on there, and just give them feedback on that.
Yeah, I think it's tough because we get so many people signed up, and I think that's something that we would want to do. We would pick like one person and then spend the whole hour talking about that one person's thing. But yeah, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, admin stuff live on Twitch talking about. Please continue. I'll mute now.
All right, Steven.
Hello.
Hello there.
It's nice to meet you. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. Just we're vibing. We're vibing.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's see here. I'm assuming, Steven, from the looks at your stuff, you want to be a level designer.
Yes.
I'm just going to take a guess. Are you going to want to work on games like Destiny or Halo?
Yes, indeed.
Wow, I'm like a psychic. How could I have guessed that? No, that's cool. That's cool. All right, sweet. Let's take a look. Sentinel. This actually sounds familiar. I think I know someone who this project, but let's just take a scroll. Oh, okay. The videos just weren't popping up. That's what it is. I don't know why. Maybe this might be my internet is acting a little weird. Because I'm assuming there's videos for each of these sections.
Yes.
Okay. So for here, it looks like you're trying to just talk about each section of your level, which is, I think that's interesting. But one thing as a level designer, what always helps is like having like your top downs, your blockouts, if you still have those, and just kind of talking about like, oh, I had a space, I wanted to encourage this for the players when they play this level, things of that nature. So kind of like with how I have with mine, like this part right here, it is all going from this is like talk about the process of how I kind of made these levels. And I kind of talk about like, oh, I originally did these top-down maps, but these really hard because this was a 3D rotating game. So I ended up going from here to Maya because it was easy to sketch that out, and then I will go from Maya into Unity, etc., etc. I always feel like stuff like that's a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit easier to digest because they just want to see like your entire process, see how you got from point A to point B, and because right now, and plus one thing I would say too, like I feel like having things on the side here, it's a little bit hard because this looks like a lot of words to read. So maybe if you want to try to like stack them, so it's like here's a video, then here's some text at the bottom, then a video with text at the bottom. That way, it doesn't look like I'm like reading it in like a whole bunch of stuff here. And it looks like stuff here is centered, so it feels like it should be centered in the video right to the left like this. So the formatting just feels a little bit weird.
I've got something, Nathan.
Yes, sir.
So Nathan's talking about everything being centered. Yes, like I think that it seems like there's a lot of words, but there's really not, and I think that that's because everything's squished in the middle. So I think if you like spread things out a little bit, and just align them differently, and maybe you're doing that so that everything kind of matches the video on the side. I don't know. But I think that that's why. Okay, yeah, yeah. I don't know what kind of site this is or whatever, but if this is the best that you can do, fine. The one thing I would say though is categorize each of these sections a little bit better so that they stand out. So like what text goes with what video. Like either match the title or bold or use bigger font and just kind of section 1 and then there's a text. Okay, then that way even if the video doesn't match entirely and it's a couple lines off, it's like where section 2 is and 3 is. Because right now it is a little bit. It just feels a little messy, I think. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, another thing I would say too, which always I think kind of helps, is if you have, unless you have it up here, I just completely missed it. Okay, no, you're talking more about the game. You can have like some bullet points like below your thing here to kind of say like, this is what I exactly did. Like I blocked out this level from start to finish. I worked on the enemies in combat. I worked with these particular groups to emphasize this thing with level, just so that way I don't, because that's the way in case too, if someone doesn't feel like reading all this, and you have like a bullet point list of like what you exactly did, then they can like, okay, cool, I know that Steven did A, B, C, D on this particular project. Let's go to level design jam. Let's see, what's this? Oh, cool, portal. Yeah, like this, because you have it separated out already feels a lot better, because I know like, okay, you're just focusing on this thing here. Okay, now I'm on the puzzle 1. All right, cool. This is all about puzzle 1, then puzzle 2. So.
Got it.
Yeah, don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
that helps a lot.
The images are still loading. So.
Yeah. Do you like that they're GIFs?
Yes, GIFs are always a bit easier, because that way, because like I said before, when it comes to art, like artists can do a screenshot and it's like, okay, cool, this is how pretty it is. But for designers, a screenshot's really not going to tell me what's going on in your level. So yeah, GIFs I feel like are always a good thing to do when it comes to showing off our design work, GIFs and videos.
Hey Nathan, can you
Nice.
can you start from the top and then slowly scroll down, or like how long is this right here? Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Go all the way to the bottom. Cool. And go all the way back to the top. Sorry, this isn't like a weird.
Oh, you're good,
I'm looking for something. Hold on.
Oh, come on, there we go.
Okay. You know what? Okay, so one thing I recommend everybody having on a lot of their projects are like closing thoughts, like a closing thought section at the end, where you kind of talk about the challenges that you had and just how you feel about it now, what you would do differently if you had more time or could go back. I think that stuff is super valuable for people to read, especially like if I'm looking for somebody on my team or something like that. There might be something that I notice, that I'd be like, oh, I'd probably give feedback about this, or that looks a little weird. And then if you see it in those closing thoughts, that's like, okay, cool, they get it, they know, they didn't have time or whatever, but at least they're kind of like aware. It's kind of great to see that, and it shows like your design sensibilities, I think, or at least like your experience. So being able to kind of like self-reflect and have some closing thoughts on things is a super valuable thing. I would recommend everybody trying to do that with all their projects.
Yeah, no, I agree with 100%. I have that on my portfolio, but the way how I do mine is I have a link that goes to a separate website, like for Medium, and my Medium post is like the entirety of my breakdown for my one project, and I always end like closing thoughts about like, yeah, this is what I feel like I could have done better, this is what I think did really well. So, because that's what happened with every project too, it's like kind of a post-mortem. But yeah, no, I think that's a really good thing to add in there. Overall, though, I do like some of the work that I see from you, Steven. I think looks pretty. I think I saw this before too.
About 25.
But yeah, I just feel like a lot about. Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna make this last point here, but I feel like a lot of what's going on here is like you're talking more about like the project and not more about like your process from start to finish and about like what you specifically did about yourself
Yeah.
and what you've done on a project, not about the project as a whole.
Got it.
Yeah, I guess before I move on to Dylan, do you have any questions, Steven?
This was all really great. I had one more question about the GIFs, where I got a little nervous how it took them a while to load and how it looked like the page was kind of empty or like just text. Was that your experience as well when you went through it, or did you just know that there was something coming next to the text?
Nathan, are you there, Nathan?
I knew there was something coming next to the text, but at first I was like, "Oh, why is there this?" Yeah, can you guys hear me? Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I think maybe it's lagging a little bit. Nathan, or am I lagging?
Of course. Hold on a second.
When I say hi, somebody else say hi. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, cool. I think it's Nathan. I was gonna say, isn't it? It's funny that this is a question that you ask when that happens, right? See if he comes back. Give it a second. You back, Nathan?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm in here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're very delayed.
Oh my god. Okay, let me try to leave and come.
All right, Nathan. If this, I don't know how many we have left. If we have like 2 left, I can just do them. If this doesn't work in like 1 minute, we'll give it like a minute.
Hello.
Let's see what happens.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Okay, cool.
But am I delayed now or?
No, it sounds
Okay, cool.
sounds good.
Yeah, no.
Start streaming though, and then we'll see.
Hold on. All right. How about now?
Looks good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Okay,
Can y'all hear me? Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
the
we're
internet
good.
here kind of goes a little iffy. So
Continue.
cool. What was it? Oh, the gifts. Right. So yeah, I would say at first when I pulled up the page, I was kind of like, wait, are there supposed to be videos here? Because I just see nothing but words. Because I know sometimes people can format things a little weird. So yeah, I think if you want, you could cut down on some gifts and really save them for probably particular things you want to show off. Because yeah, you don't really need to like gif every single thing. You know what I mean? I think there are some things that you could just leave into the beginning video. Because I usually save gifs for like, hey, here's a particular system that I did, or here's a particular movement going on that I really want to show off. You know.
Hey, Steve, if you're worried about the connection or anything like that, if that's what you're trying to get at, DM me your portfolio, or I'll get it from Nathan, and I can check it out on my end to see if they're really slow.
That'd be great. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let me move on to the next person.
Thank you.
No problem. Ryan, y'all can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Yeah, like I said, the internet's kind of weird. Dylan.
Yes.
Rings of Hell.
Hello.
Yep. Hello.
Yeah, this is definitely looks okay. So far, I'm liking the presentation. This is nice. Let's go to Rings of Hell. There's nothing really going on here. What if I go to... Is Rings of Hell a professional project, or is that like a school project?
It was a school project. It was, in retrospect, I probably should have put last on my page because it's the only one where there isn't a ton of level design. I did more of like a design lead role on that one, whereas like the one you're looking at right now is more of like an actual level design portfolio piece.
Okay. Let's go to my work. The ruins of this feels like a Dark Souls level. It's
Yeah,
from
that was
Castlevania.
definitely the inspiration. Yeah.
Okay, I figured. Yeah, so I would say for your portfolio, so far I think work looks cool, but I feel like I need more about like the process because right now you have like
Hmm.
the screenshot of your top down and you have some
Hmm.
block out stuff, but I kind of want to know more of your decision making process. Like,
Okay.
okay, why do you have it particularly set up like this? What was the feel you're trying to
Hmm.
give to the player? You have like lock keys and stuff like, okay, why do you have it cut like that? Because like I said, this feels like a Dark Souls thing, but I don't know if
Yeah.
is this like a straight up copy or if you did something interesting with it. Even with the blueprint stuff here, it's like when it comes to blueprints on portfolio, I remember someone kind of told me unless you're going for like a really technical position, you can kind of leave them off.
Okay.
And I would say for these though, because some of these also are kind of basic, like okay, opening a door. That's just something you can kind of do in timeline. A trap door, okay, it's a delay node. Set neighbors off. Okay, yeah, like some of this is like kind of basic things. So
Hmm.
for you, if you want, like, but this one, the illusionary wall, I don't know what that is. I don't want to see the blueprints. I want to see that actually being like done because that sounds interesting to me.
Okay.
Just to
So
jump in
yeah,
there
I feel
too,
like this.
Nathan, sorry,
Yes.
I agree, but I think that if you have something complex, like you're a boss fight,
Oh yeah.
and it's like this crazy boss fight where there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's like there's reinforcements and there's all these
Mhm.
crazy effects, and like you're doing a ton of stuff, and the way that it's scripted is just like super super beefy. Then I think that having a section where you go over like your process and the blueprints and describing that stuff is probably okay. But yeah, I agree that maybe like the door stuff is probably not 100% necessary.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I think the idea for that was that there was like a strong emphasis at the school that I went to that like they want level designers to be able to program very basic things to be able
Yeah.
to do that. So I guess that was like the
Mhm.
thought process of being like, if I know how to program some simple things, so that won't be an issue.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah. No, I get that, but I also think too, like for you, like you can just have like a section that says like blueprint, like scripting, and like this is the thing. So I scripted that you can show off like here's like the lock and key, or here's the weird mechanic that I did. Then you can have a
Mhm.
section for that talking about that. Because yeah, just seeing the basic stuff is like most people are going to understand. Like, because if you have a door that opens on a trigger, we're going to understand that you scripted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or any other type of mechanics that are kind of done in your game. We're just going to assume that okay, this guy probably scripted stuff. But
Okay.
but yeah, overall, like I said, I think a lot of stuff looks really good. I just want to see more about like the process and like why you did the things that you did.
Gotcha.
And for anybody here who's watching, is why I used to tell people like one piece of advice I always tell people is going on LinkedIn and looking up like other junior or associate level people's portfolios, because most of the time if they have the portfolios posted, they haven't really changed much of them yet to where they have their more professional work, and they usually have like their old school work that goes into a lot of the process of like why they build things the way they did. So I always kind of say like look at people like those, because yours right now reminds me of someone like Ryan's or like a senior, where they kind of have like some cool screenshots in the video, but for
Mhm.
somebody like them, they don't really need to go into their process because, for example, our boy Ryan here has shipped like 5 AAA games. Like, man's worked on 3 Call of Duty, so
Mhm.
what process? Just go play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But yeah, for people who are trying to break in, it's really important for me to kind of see what your overall thought process is.
I know we don't have enough time for this, but a lot of like what you're talking about, I think like the video I have explains a lot of that. Like should I just write it out in text anyway, even though the video contains a lot of?
Yeah, because
Okay.
sometimes people may not even like people will watch the video, but they may just scroll through it, or they may just like
Gotcha.
have it on mute and stuff, and just let it
Mhm.
play. But yeah, I would say I would say it doesn't hurt to have text. You don't want to have like
Okay.
essays, but
Yeah,
having a bit
text
of
and
text will help.
images, good quality images with text on them is really great too.
Mhm.
Like your top down stuff that you had there was perfect. But yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, there's somebody posted in the chat. I'm just gonna throw it up. This is very useful. Somebody commented, Neptune Level Design commented, Google Lighthouse. If you Google Lighthouse, it's a great tool. Or is it Google Lighthouse? I don't know. I guess we'll find out if someone Googles it. It's a great tool to see if your portfolio website is too heavy to load. I think this came up because before Steve was posting about his and asking about the GIFs. So coming from web developer background, you'd be surprised at how often people give up on a website over a few extra seconds of load time. Not all the details Lighthouse gives is useful, but it'll generate a separate report for the media content on your page and how impactful it is on speed. That's really cool. I like that.
That is cool. I like that. One thing I guess I would say here, and this is the last thing that I'll go to Josh. For the Ringside Hell stuff, I mean, I think if this is something that you worked on, that's really cool. You can definitely like talk about it.
Mhm.
Like go into like the things of like, the struggles, the challenges of like, leading the design and what you particularly did on it. Cause like this seems like this would be a cool thing. And if I probably play through it, is there a mute? I want to mute quick. Yeah, like this looks good. This looks solid. I would love to kind of hear more about like what, like I guess what you kind of worked on and did for this, because this looks like a really solid project.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can always, and when it comes to LD, you can always kind of just, have another portfolio piece that talks about your LD stuff. Or if
Mhm.
what you want, you can do like a other work section here. You can put Ring of Hell there, and everything in the front here is small level designy.
Okay. That sounds like
Yeah.
a good idea.
Hey, Dylan, I
Just
just want
food
to say
for
I really
thought.
like your portfolio. And one thing I like that you're doing is on each of your projects, Nathan, if you click one of them, and a lot of other people do this too. It's a pretty basic thing, but like just how you have that section, just the title, the type, genre, development description, like these really quick kind of points of just the general information. That stuff is really like it's very important to have this on there. And I've noticed tonight, even with some of them that we've been reviewing, some of it's like centered on the page, or it's like it runs on, or it's like every other picture there's like a little bit more. It's like having it just like right here is like super useful. That's what people look for when they first get onto a page, is just kind of the basic details before diving into the project. So just thumbs up on that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, yeah. Overall, this is a really solid looking portfolio for sure. Just want to see more about your process, but you're definitely on the right track.
Yeah, thanks for all the feedback. I really appreciate it.
No problem. All right. Do you have any questions for us before we move on?
I think that the one thing that like I obviously struggled with is that just because if you go through at least the level design ones, there I do explain certain things, but I guess it's just like not apparent or obvious enough. I guess like you have to go through the pictures to get some of the info. Would it just be better if I like had like what's like a good amount to add? Because I get worried that I'll like go over the top and add too much information, and then it becomes boring to read.
So I think for that, what you can do then is just like type up some stuff and put it on here, and then you can definitely post in the portfolio review chats that we have. And I know people will be more than happy to take a look at that and give you some more in-depth feedback about that. But I think that's a thing of where you would just need to kind of do it and to be like, hey, can you take a look at this and see how you feel about it? And then you can go on from that.
Okay, sounds
Yep.
good.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Dylan.
Thanks again.
The next
Yep.
one, the last one.
All right. Yes, sir.
Cool.
Josh Hoffman. There he is.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. All right, let's see. We got 3 projects here. This is actually really nice and simple.
Click on one of them
Action
bad boys.
adventure low.
Let's see this.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a little pitch document.
This is great.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. The documents aren't that long, so I can just read through the thing. References.
I love the sections too. Just like not even how you have like the light gray background, and then how each of these sections are like cut off from each other. That's really great. It makes everything kind of feel like it's contained within itself, and the readability is really nice here. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, you got a little.
That's good. I highly recommend drop downs to people too, especially when it comes to like giving more information, any more context that doesn't really need to be said if someone's just kind of reading through, and if you're already worried about length, but having some drop downs like this is great. What type of website is this, Josh? Is this Squarespace?
It's WordPress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I followed a YouTube video about how to like set up my own thing. It actually was like kind of easy, but if I were to do it all over again, I'd probably just use Wix.
Really? Well, I mean, it looks great. Honestly, I feel like this is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the results. It just took a long time.
Yeah. WordPress is
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is like really awesome. I don't really have much to really say about this because I think I've seen this before. And I was like, this is a really solid portfolio. I guess my only gripe, if I were to kind of say, is for your main videos, if you make these bigger, like kind of like a bit bigger, like I think like mine's at the top, like so it's more pronounced. But other than that, I mean, you do have like some stuff
This is so
here.
cool.
Yeah,
This is better than
this
most
is one of those portfolios where
AAA
I'm like,
designers'
shit, this
portfolios.
is good.
Sorry,
Oh
Nathan.
god, yeah, 100%. No, you're good.
Thank you.
No, you're good.
I mean, my biggest like question at the moment is because like I'm now just starting to apply. Is like, I mean, I guess bluntly is like, is this hireable? Is like what I'm concerned about because I'm just like worried about getting a job now.
Well, sorry, for me, right off the bat, I haven't seen any of your projects, right? Like, haven't like have a chance to like look in detail of all these things and click on them and play them or watch the videos and actually read everything that you have here, right? But based on just like what I'm seeing in this short amount of time, I would say, yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the work you have definitely is really good, and this will definitely get people's attention. But I think in that sense, it's just more of, it's not. I don't think in that sense when it comes to looking for a job, it's more about, how many people are applying to that job. Do they have space for juniors at that position at that studio? I feel like for you, a lot of it's gonna be more of like, okay, like, does what he have match what we're trying to do for a project, things of that nature. But in terms of, I would definitely think with something like this, it would capture someone's attention. That will go like, oh, hey, we should talk to this guy. So yeah, I would think, I think a definitely portfolios in that is definitely in that direction. I would just say that just keep on making stuff and improving your portfolio and adding projects, so that way it's not like 6 months down the line and we still see like this still see the same three things. Because I know that's one thing people say is like they want to see portfolios update and improve. So so yeah, I definitely say like, like these are all great, these are all awesome, but definitely like if we talk again, like say in December, and I still see the same three things, I'm gonna be like, okay, well then what else have you made? What else have you done?
Yeah, that makes
But,
sense.
yeah.
Hey, Josh, do you have a resume section on here?
I do have a resume. I submitted it, I think, with the I think I submitted it as like a separate file when I did the thing, but I don't have it on my site now.
Hey, wait, what part of Ohio are you from?
Like northeast, kind of near Cleveland.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna be moving to Cleveland in the next year or so. Pretty cool.
Nice, and Ryan can hire you. No, kidding.
For what? I mean, like in Ohio, like that has nothing to do with whatever. Yeah, let's start our own little studio in Ohio, and just the two people. There's not a lot of game developers in Ohio, I don't think. This is
no, I'm
really cool,
trying to get out of Ohio.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, it's funny. Wait, Josh, do you have any other questions though? Like, even if I feel like we should give you more. Like, do you have anything about any questions career wise or anything about getting in an industry or working in the industry or anything?
Not really. I mean, I'm looking forward to perhaps doing like the mock interviews that kind of get brought up from time to time.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I have no idea what an interview would be like.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We got to get the mock interviews going, Nathan. I know you've been
Yeah.
working on that stuff and have the questionnaire, so it's coming soon. But that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna-
Definitely in the works right now.
I don't know how we're gonna do it, like in terms of like signing up and all that, but we should definitely get Josh's name on there as like maybe one of them that we make sure we do.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, but besides that, Josh, I think your portfolio is great, and I love the fact you have other, like, even the fact like your 3DR, your illustration stuff also looks really solid. It's also kind of like, damn, this man's good at art too. That's not fair. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is
it's
really
good.
good work.
Well, I'm kind of like career transitioning a little bit. So I had done work as like a motion graphics designer for a little while,
I see.
and now I'm trying to switch gears.
Okay. Yeah, man. I think I think your portfolio is really great. Yeah, I think it's just keep on making stuff and keep on grinding. I guess that's my biggest piece of advice.
Cool, thank you.
Feel free to
Yeah,
hit us up
besides
DMs too,
that-
Josh, and even post your portfolio on the Discord to get more people
Yes.
from the community commenting on it
Yeah.
and giving you feedback.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
up there right now. So if anyone
Okay.
wants to look or give me some feedback, I'd love it.
There we go. Get that plug right on Twitch. Is that everybody?
Yep. Yeah, that was it. That was 5 people.
Cool. All right. We got to do it. We got to do it next month too. We can't. We took a month off. We gotta. This is cool. Like Nathan. I'm surprised at how many people showed up. This is amazing.
Yeah. I think because we did it where we gave it like a good 2 weeks prior, people probably had a
Right.
lot more time to space out and everything, because we had like over 20 submissions to the Google site,
Yeah.
which was very like, oh damn, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Now we got to use events on Discord. That'll probably help. And someone brought it up earlier, but maybe because we had talked about doing this more than once a month, and maybe we do that, but maybe we turn one of them into an actual like project review, where we go through each of the projects that somebody has.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks everybody for showing up. Get on the Discord, post your portfolios if you want feedback. If you didn't get a chance tonight, wait for the next one or DM one of us and we'll try to get you on the list for next time. I should always stick around after these things and hang out and talk about it. It's late in my time. Nathan, what time is it by you?
Like 1:30. It's the middle of the day over here.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody have a good week. See y'all next time.
Thanks, y'all.
You too.
Bye.
Thank
Have a
you,
good one,
Nathan.
guys.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.